Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's Patrick Prohaska from Lightbridge, and I am really overjoyed to be with you here today because there's a lot of power in the air right now, and I want to share it all with you. So, everybody, let's just dive right in and get started. So, please make sure you're in a very safe and comfortable place with no distractions. Please don't do anything potentially dangerous. No driving, no chopping vegetables. If you are doing something dangerous, you can always just listen in and simply not allow the connection to be set. But if you are in a safe place, let's get connected, connecting with you, connecting with your higher self, opening up a conduit whereby you can connect with me and through me connect with everybody else in the group. Beautiful. Let's lock in the connection by taking a very deep breath. Breathe deep, way deep into your lungs. Hold that for a moment and release. Okay, beautiful. So today I want to focus on self-healing. And in a sense, all healing is self healing. You can definitely work with a facilitator or a moderator or an expert healer, but ultimately it's you who does the healing internally through the help or assistance of other people or sometimes completely by yourself. And for me, the the source that you can rely on the most is the one that people tend to overlook the most, and that is your higher self. So I want to dive right into a very short, very quick meditation, kind of bring you into deeper alignment with and awareness of your higher self. So please just close your eyes, get into a nice, comfortable position here so that you can simply allow yourself to surrender for the next 4 or 5 minutes or so. Beautiful. And simply allow your higher self to step into your awareness. Simply request that your higher self make itself known to you. And you can either visualize it or you can smell it or see it or engage whatever senses you want, or you can simply feel communion with your higher self in a non-sensory way if you prefer. There's no way to do it wrong. Simply invite the energy of your higher self into your awareness now. And your higher self is essentially you. It's that version of you that is completely unencumbered by limiting beliefs, by traumatic experiences, by bad memories, by grudges and irrational anger or fear. It's you completely and utterly free of all of the limiting thoughts, beliefs, judgments, and expectations that keep you stuck in struggle and pain in your current egoic persona. So if you have felt or you have believed that your higher self is inaccessible, or that it's too lofty or too distant, or that you're simply not allowed to communicate with your higher self or anything else of the sort, I want to let all of that go because you are your higher self. You always have been. It just is in certain situations you forget that you are your higher self. So, anywhere and everywhere you have been feeling like your life just isn't working because you're disconnected from your higher self, or you wonder why you can't seem to connect with your higher self. I want to clear all of that away because those premises are wrong. You are connected with your higher self and you always have been. You just haven't been aware of that connection. So take a moment to really experience your higher self as it presents itself to you in your current egoic persona. Feel what your higher self feels. Look at your higher self and see what you see. Explore that version of you that is completely free of all the grudges that you've been carrying throughout your life. That version of you that's completely free of all of the fears that drive you and your behavior in your current egoic persona. All of the traumatic experiences that you suffered as a child or in previous lifetimes. Completely free of all of the limiting beliefs about yourself, such as you're not allowed to do this, you're forbidden to do that, you're not good enough to do this or that, you're not worthy enough to enjoy this or that. All of those limiting beliefs, let's let go of them and let's observe the way your higher self enjoys perpetual pleasure, joy, connection, intimacy, boundless optimism, and abundance because it's free of all of those limiting beliefs and expectations and thoughts. Beautiful. And to help out with this, let's now ask your higher self to give you a deeper gift of awareness of your higher self. Allow your higher self to give to you, to present to you the energetic pattern, the energetic blueprint or template of awareness of your higher self. And allow that energetic blueprint to be absorbed into your energetic field so you can become aware of and commune with your higher self anytime that you would like. Anytime you're in pain, you can ask yourself, how would my higher self respond to this situation? Anytime you're in fear or in shame or holding a grudge against someone else, you can see, you can feel deep in your core how your higher self would respond in this situation. And particularly with regard to today's topic, which is self healing, begin to become aware of the fact that your higher self is in a perpetual state of wholeness and health. That your higher self enjoys vibrant energy, vibrant health, vibrant wholeness at all times. And become aware that this is available for you as you align with your higher self. And of course, in this three-dimensional reality that we inhabit, challenges will emerge, painful events will take place, bad things will happen, illnesses, sicknesses, injuries, they will all happen because they are part of the design of this three-dimensional physical world that we inhabit. So now ask your higher self to present to you the energetic imprint of resilience so that you can roll with the punches. You can process challenges as they emerge with grace and ease, and you can recover quickly after they have passed. And allow that energetic blueprint to imprint itself on your core persona now, deep in your subconscious mind. Beautiful. And let's ask one more thing of your higher self. Let's ask for the energy, the imprint, the blueprint of authenticity. because your higher self never hides who it really is. It never lives in fear of how other people will respond if it shines with its authentic truth. It simply is who it is. It doesn't waste energy caring about how other people like it or dislike it or so and so forth. So, to allow that imprint, that blueprint to emerge from your higher self, authenticity, and allow it to sink deep into your unconscious mind. Beautiful. So we're imprinting all of these powerful energies from your higher self onto your current egoic persona. And now take a very, very deep breath and hold it for a moment to lock all of that in. And then let go of that breath. And as you breathe that out, let go of anything and everything that prevents you from holding on to these new energies. Just let it all go. And come back into more full waking consciousness. Excellent. So it's kind of wiggle your body around. You can reground yourself if you need to, but let's maintain the connection that we have, the connection with that I have with you and with your higher self that you have with me, and the connection you have with everyone else in the group through me. And you can even connect with them directly and bypass me altogether if you would like. That's perfectly fine. You have that ability. Okay, wonderful. So, excellent. So, today we're talking about self healing. And I'm talking about this in the context of the fact that beginning a week from today, I'll be teaching the Lightbridge Foundations course again. And all of the information about Lightbridge Foundations is on my website. I don't want to spend time doing a sales pitch or trying to convince you that it's beneficial for you to take this course. I know it's beneficial. If you choose to join me, that's truly awesome. If you've taken the course in the past, you will automatically be registered this time around as well. I've sent out email messages to everybody who's registered before, and I've only heard back from a small handful of you. So remember, I've built a brand new website. The old Lightbridge Academy is no longer going to function. Everything is moving over to the new website. And it is a completely new website, meaning that if you try to log in using your username and password from the old website, it's not going to work. And that's why it's important to look at the email message that I sent for those of you who have taken foundations before. If you haven't taken Lightbridge Foundations, I would love to have you in the group. And there are lots of perks involved as well. So, everybody, just get into kind of today's mode. All healing is self healing. And it's perfectly fine when you're going about your healing process to rely on other people, on healers, on doctors, and so forth to facilitate your healing. But generally, those people are not healers who are going to wave a magic wand and make your pain go away as you sit there passively allowing the energy to flow in you. That could work, but it rarely does in my experience. So for me, one of the things that I've been doing with Lightbridge is I've been purging as much as possible anything and everything out of Lightbridge that is an invitation for you to be passive in your own healing, because all healing is self-healing. And what a facilitator like me does is we help direct the flow of energy. We help you become aware of where the blockages are so that the healing can take place there. But it's up to you to actually step into the energy, embrace it, surrender to it, and allow it to go where it needs to go in order for you to heal. And by far, the most important thing for you to do in your self healing is to have a willingness to let go of all of the energetic patterns and habits and thoughts and beliefs and expectations that created your mess in the first place. So, in the past several years, I've worked with a lot of people who are just willing, eager, and ready to dive in and do the work that they need to do in order to heal their lives. And I've worked with other people who don't want to do anything to change their thoughts, beliefs, or patterns. They just want the healing energy and they wonder why they're not getting very much traction. So, the analogy that I often like to give is if you wake up every morning and pour a teaspoon of poison into your coffee every morning that you drink in order to wake up, and then you complain about the bellyache and the pain and the consequences of drinking poison every morning, um, and you go to a doctor and say, hey, my stomach hurts, give me some medicine to help me with the stomach, that pain is never going to go away until you stop eating the poison every morning with your coffee. The doctor can do every trick in the book in order to help you, but until you stop eating the poison, you will never get better. The analogy that I'm raising here, this metaphor, it's all about the fact that if you do nothing to change the thoughts, the beliefs, the energetic patterns that created your current mess or your current condition, then then you can experience all the energy healings in the world, and you're always going to revert back to the old pattern because you're stuck in that old energy. And that's what I'm trying to help people in Lightbridge, to kind of change your thoughts, your beliefs, your expectations, your judgments about the world that you live in so you can create something new for yourself. But the fact of the matter is this: I cannot think your thoughts for you. Nobody else can think your thoughts for you. You are the one and only person in the universe who can think your thoughts, unless you're possessed by an entity or something, but that's a completely different story. You alone are in control of your thoughts, beliefs, judgments, and expectations. And that means if you want to create something new and different for your life, the burden of the work is on you to take control of your thoughts, beliefs, judgments, and expectations. And where I come in, or other people like me, where we come in, is to help make that process easier for you, to help guide you, to help point out to you the habits that you're blind to help point out to you the thoughts and beliefs that you are engaging in that you're unaware of because you've had them for so long that you can't see them anymore. And to point out, or to help you kind of shift that energy flow so that it becomes easier for you to take control of your thoughts and beliefs. So that's what Lightbridge is all about. That's what this entire program is all about. And I'm thrilled to have people who are like really interested and willing to do the work to make those changes. So, one of the things that we need to do is break the habits of negative thinking. And I want to do a little energetic process with everyone right now to build on what we just did. We started with awareness of your higher self. Now we're going to increase your awareness of your own bad habits without judgment. It's very important. Sometimes when we become aware of our own bad habits, the habits that we have of getting angry in certain situations, or responding in a way that's not helpful, or hiding our truth from other people out of fear of how they'll judge us and so forth. A lot of times when we become aware of those habits, we go into a downward spiral of anger with ourselves, or shame and so forth about how we behaved in the past. None of that helps you. Becoming aware of the habits that limit you is a liberating process. But if you look at it and say, oh my God, I'm so ashamed of the way I've behaved my entire life. Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I'm such a bad person. You're completely negating the whole reason for becoming aware of your limiting thoughts, which is to let go of them, not to wallow in them. So let's begin to rebuild our connection here so you can become more deeply aware of the limiting patterns of behavior, that is, the limiting habits you have, so that you can correct them and let go of them. And the way you break a habit is to force yourself not to engage in that behavior anymore once you become aware of it. And over time, a well practiced action turns into a new habit. And you let go of the limiting habit, and this new activity, this new action or mindset or way of engaging in the world becomes second nature to you. It becomes your new habit, and you can move on, you can let go of that awareness of it and just live that habit on autopilot. Okay, beautiful. So we're becoming aware of all of the limiting habits and behaviors that you have that block you from embracing your healing. This includes things like self medicating with cheesecake, or self medicating by smoking cigarettes. Okay, any form of self medication that actually decreases your health over time. Okay, any habits of picking fights with other people or instigating drama or stirring the pot or poking the bear and so forth. These are habits that generally backfire on you. Okay, and along with this awareness, we're bringing in a willingness to behave differently in those situations, to behave in a way that is more empowered rather than just creating more struggle and strife for you in the long run. Beautiful. Let's take a deep breath and hold it for a moment to lock that in. And release when you're ready. Okay, and now the next thing that I need to do to kind of round this out a little bit is give you a stronger awareness of what your circle of friends is doing to you. The energy of your circle of friends, or the energy of the people that you surround yourself most commonly, because you are probably an energetic sponge who is absorbing the energy of everyone around you, and you are an energetic mirror reflecting back to them all of the negative or painful energy that they have. So if you surround yourself with people who are constantly complaining about how bad their life is, you absorb that energy and you become that complaint yourself. So we need to increase our awareness of our circle of friends and let go of any and all belief systems that tell you that it's wrong or you're forbidden to let go of friends who do not serve you, or that if you lose the set of friends that are holding you back, you will never make new friends. It's just let all of that go. Okay? And bring in an awareness that as you grow spiritually and you grow in terms of your health and your self-control, those people that love to complain will just lose interest in you and they'll move on. And that will create space for new people to enter your life who love you and respect you and want to work with you to create a better world. Beautiful. Now, everyone take a very, very deep breath and hold it for a moment. And release when you're ready. Okay, so I'm going to open the line for questions and special requests here in a moment. And I see we've got a couple of hands already raised. But before I do that, I just want to point out what I've been doing with you. So I have been combining a number of different Lightbridge tools into a single practice in the work that we've just done. Lightbridge attunements are incredibly powerful. A Lightbridge attunement, like all types of attunements, and by the way, if you don't know what an attunement is, an attunement is what you do when you take an external pattern of energy, some sort of blueprint or template from a higher source, and then impose it on a person's body or energy field or emotional body or whatever. So you can have angelic attunements that are designed to align you with an energy that comes from an angelic source. You can have divine attunements that align you with an energy that comes from a divine source of some sort. And what I do in Lightbridge is higher self attunements to attune you with the energy of your higher self. Because in my mind, angelica templates, divine templates, and so forth, they're all powerful. Those attunements work. But who knows you more intimately and thoroughly and deeply than anyone else? Your higher self. Your higher self knows exactly what you need in order to get from where you are now to where it is just naturally and normally all the time. In fact, it knows everything that you are ever going to do to get from where you are now to where it is. And therefore, it can provide you the most perfectly attuned energies to help you get from here to there if you open yourself up to it. So Lightbridge attunements are part of the Lightbridge program, and I teach how to do it in the Lightbridge Foundations course. The other thing I've been doing is belief sculpting. Belief sculpting involves revealing any and all limiting beliefs that you have and either letting go of them completely or replacing them with something better. It also involves installing belief systems that you might be missing, such as I am worthy of love or I am worthy of joy. And I teach how to do that in the Lightbridge Foundations course. And as I mentioned, that course is coming up next week. I hope you can join me in it. It's the course in which I teach you everything that I do so you can do it yourself. And I teach it in a way that will allow you, if you want to even start your own Lightbridge practice. So if you're interested, contact me. I'll give you more information or just check it all out on the website. So beautiful. So I want to go to a caller. We're going to go to one who's on the telephone right now, and it looks like a number ending in 0447. Okay. And can you hear me? It looks like you're muted on your end. I've unmuted you on my end. There we go.
Hi, it's
Hi,
Wilma. Hi.
Wilma. Hi.
Yeah,
Awesome to reconnect with you. How are you doing?
this is very interesting. When you were doing the original connection to our higher self, I felt nothing and I saw nothing. And normally, when you're working, I can sense it and feel energy, or I can see colors, I can something. And so while I was, there was a part of me that was thinking, oh wow, am I like so disconnected? I'm not feeling anything at all. And then I swung the other way with thinking, well, maybe I am connected and that's why I'm not feeling anything. But then when you mentioned the words, this is very interesting. When you mentioned the word release, struggle, and strife, I got a really big hit of energy because struggle is a word I've used to you many times. Like when I've talked about releasing financial struggle or aligning with, financial flow, but I've never used the word strife. And so I'm wondering if somehow or other I have disconnected myself.
Yeah. So
Unconsciously.
What's going on already.
Yeah.
This is something that is not uncommon at all, but it would give you that experience of not being connected. So what I'd like to do with you and with everyone else on the call, if you have a set of beliefs that tell you that life is struggling, that the universe itself conspires to create struggle and strife in your life, and pain and challenges and so forth, and that in fact the meaning of life is to overcome these struggles. If you believe, and I'm not saying it's not true, but if you believe that the meaning of life is to overcome challenges, then if you have no challenges, your life is meaningless. And you know from the way I've described it, that your higher self doesn't have any of those challenges. It's already basking in the energy of, let's say, nirvana. It's already basking in the energy of having everything in order in its life. So there is no struggle, there is no strife, there are no challenges for your higher self, because it doesn't inhabit this three-dimensional world that you do. So for a lot of people, there's a feeling that if you connect with your higher self, and if you truly allow the energy of your higher self to flood into you or some other higher source, then what you're doing is you're transforming your life into something meaningless, because the meaning in your life comes from overcoming the challenges that you face. So I want to clear that away so we can create kind of a happy medium here, that maybe connecting with your higher self and absorbing its energy is the lesson that you're here to learn in order to overcome that struggle and strife. And therefore, stepping into that energy won't completely strip all meaning out of your life, and therefore there's nothing left for you to do but die. Maybe it will bring more profound meaning into your life, because then you can have a comparison between the energy of your higher self and where you've been through most of your life. Is that making sense?
Wow, it is. And I'm feeling so much energy in my heart, but I'm also feeling like, not like I'm being strangled, but there's a lot of energy in my throat.
Yeah.
So, and I think I'm so happy I'm on this call, because I think it's when you said release struggle and strife that I got that hit that, oh my God, that, because I've said to you a number of times, I'm blocking myself somewhere and I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
And I think this may be the hitting the nail on the head. So
Awesome. So
if we
for
can clear it all, that'd be awesome.
everyone
Thank
on the
you.
call, for you and for everyone else on the call, anywhere and everywhere you have limited your spiritual growth or limited your healing because of a subconscious belief that if you were to heal, your life would become meaningless and therefore over. Let's get the truth about that as understood by your higher self and clear it away right now. And bring in a deeper awareness of how to and what it feels like to actually enjoy the state that you're in after you've healed. And anywhere and everywhere you've decided that meaning only comes through challenge, that the only thing that gives your life meaning is the pain and the suffering and the challenges and the needing to overcome it all. Let's clear that away and bring in a deep awareness that you can find meaning in joy. You can find meaning in health and vitality and vibrancy, not just in defeating something. Beautiful.
Wow, that felt wonderful. Can we release you've already released the struggle and strife. Can we align with the ease and flow?
Yeah. So let
Like,
me
so that
rephrase
seems
what you just
important.
said.
Yeah.
So I didn't release the struggle and strife. I offered you an opportunity to let go of it. So
Okay.
in a sense, like I said, it's all self-healing. So, and the only reason I'm bringing that up is because I really want to drive that point home. So uh, I think you are onto something incredibly important here. It's not all about letting go of the painful things that have limited you in the past. It's about basking in and savoring the alternatives that are available to you. So let's re kind of um, go a level higher with what we just did
Okay.
and make it so you can really savor and bask in the energy of health, vitality, abundance, joy, peace, equanimity, and not just find meaning in them, but to find like profound fulfillment in all of them. So that when you have a period of ease and flow in your life, it doesn't strike you with fear that something bad is about to happen. It's a really common energy as well. Make it so that you can actually swim in the energy of joy and not feel like that joy is an invitation for calamity. Want to clear away any and all belief systems that tell you that those scales must balance, that all of your joy and health and pleasure must be paid for with pain somewhere else in your life. That's a zero-sum game mentality that doesn't hold, that it's only true if you believe it's true. You want to clear away the belief that it is true so you can experience joy without feeling like you need to counterbalance it with pain somewhere else. Okay, beautiful. Okay, Wilma, take a very, very deep breath and hold it for a moment. And release when you're ready.
You just cleared something very big in me that I didn't even realize when you said about the balance.
Mm-hmm.
Because my entire life, I often will see visions of this, the scales of justice, where the one tray is lower than the other.
Yeah.
And I've never understood consciously what that is. But the second you just said what you said, I understood. I've been holding myself, and like you just said, like that the other shoe's going to drop if I'm in joy. Oh my God, something bad's going. So thank you
Awesome.
for that.
Okay, well, thank you, and I'm going to put you back on mute right now. I hope you have a magnificent rest of the
And
week.
you.
Oops, sorry, I muted you too fast. So sorry about that. And then we're going to go to Frank. So I have unmuted you. Can you hear me? Hi. Hi, you sound like you're very, very distant, like you're on the wrong microphone.
I'm using my chat.
Okay, there we go. Now I can hear you a little bit better. How can I help you? How are you doing?
Chat.
Are you there? I can't hear you.
It's in the chat.
Yes, okay. Oh, you have a question that's in the chat. That's what you're saying. Okay. What do you do if you're going through negative experiences but want to convey a truthful conveyance of the events without vibrating at a negative energy? Yes. Oh, I am so glad you asked this question because so many people do this in a way that's actually limiting. So a lot of times I've received messages from people saying you should never ever report anything negative in your life because you are eternally in the I am energy. And if you say something like, I'm feeling sad today, then what you're doing is making a powerful affirmation of sadness. That is not true. Let go of that belief. If you believe it's true, it will be true for you, but it's not a universal truth. There's a difference between standing in the affirmation I am energy of declaring I am worthy of joy, I am worthy of respect, something like that, and simply reporting the truth of what you're experiencing in the present moment. To say that there's struggle and strife in the world isn't an invitation for more of it. It's simply to report what's going on in the world. And a lot of people just live in this fear that if they ever say anything negative, they're sending this powerful wave of energy into the universe that will blast them with negativity. So here's the thing. If you can report what's going on in your life in a clear-headed and accurate way, and if you can report it without getting triggered into a cascade of despair energy about whatever it is you're reporting, so that is you can talk about an experience you had without reliving it, then you're simply just conveying information. Now, generally, if you are purging an energy, one of the ways you purge it is to release it by declaring what it is. Sometimes you can't really let go of an energy without crying it out or shouting it out or expressing your rage in a certain way, like screaming into a pillow. When you scream into a pillow about some horrible thing that needs to be released, you're not unleashing an energy beast into the world that's going to turn around and bite you. You are releasing energy to the universe to be reabsorbed and used elsewhere. and nothing more. So I want to, for everyone on the call, I want to bring in a deeper level of discernment, a deeper level of awareness of the difference between declaring an affirmation by saying something like, I am worthy of joy, or I am worthy of punishment, or something like that. The difference between that and simply reporting the facts. And anywhere and everywhere you've decided that you should bite your tongue and never say anything negative because you're creating an affirmation, that anything you report about yourself is an I am statement in capital letters, let's clear that away. Beautiful. Because we live in this three-dimensional reality of linear time and space. And in this three-dimensional reality of linear time and space, the facts matter. And reporting the facts is not an affirmation. It's merely a reporting of the current situation. It becomes an affirmation when you add the emotional charge. So let's make it so you can report the facts of your experience in the world without getting emotionally charged and thereby turning them into a powerful affirmation. Okay. Beautiful. Now take a very, very deep breath and hold it for a moment. And release when you're ready. Okay. And as with everything in the world, it all kind of depends on your mindset as you're saying something. The intention behind the words is actually more important than the words themselves. So for an example that comes to mind is every now and then I'll have somebody say, I'll say something like, oh, it's time to pay my taxes. And then somebody will get bent out of shape and say, you should never ever say the words my taxes because you're taking ownership of taxes and you're identifying with them, and that's bad. My response is that wasn't, it's the intention behind my words that matters. And I'm merely reporting the situation as it is. It's not me making an affirmation. It could be if that was my intention, but it's not. So anyway, that there are thousands of other examples to look at as well. Is that helpful at all? Okay, and you're still unmuted, but you can type in a follow-up. Okay, you wrote thank you. Excellent. So beautiful. I'm going to put you back on mute, and we're going to go to Kathleen. Hi, Kathleen. I've unmuted you, and you're probably, there we go.
Hi, Patrick.
Hi. How are you
Thank you
doing
for this
today?
call. I'm doing good. I've been clearing my garage for the last couple weeks.
Awesome.
Really having great success. I mean, I'm going a deep purge, like into boxes that have been there for 25 years and not, ever opened. Feeling like I'm clearing some really deep roots of things. And it also has felt like more challenging than it should be because the stuff seems endless. And then when I go try to donate, some places are closed, some places you have to make appointments. Dusty boxes irritated my sinuses, and just with the sheer volume of the stuff, it's not easy to be efficient to even sort through it. So I just feel like it should be easier than it is, or happier or something. I just don't know why. I would just like it to be easier and more joyful, or if you're getting anything about this that would help me, I would appreciate it.
Well, I'm getting a lot of different things. Is there something specific you were trying to let go of that sparked all the rest of the, I feel like there was one thing specific that you felt like you needed to let go of, and then that just kind of infected the energy of everything else. Is that making sense?
Not immediately. I'm basically, this second garage bay was a storage bay, and now I have a second vehicle that I inherited that I'd like to get in there before
Okay.
winter. So that was my true motivation.
Okay. So
Um,
for you and for everyone else on the call, I just really like to increase your ability to let go of things that don't serve you anymore. And that includes, any and all clutter, like all that stuff that's been in boxes for years and you may even have forgotten exists. A lot of times we unbox something and then we say, oh, I can't let go of that, even though we didn't even know it existed 5 minutes ago. So I want to just kind of clear that away for everyone on the call, because there is immense power in clearing clutter, whether it's inside your subconscious mind or inside the storage unit. Whenever you let go of the stuff that doesn't serve you, you make space, you create almost a vacuum that allows things that do serve you to come in and take their place. And if there's resistance to letting go of things that don't really serve you anymore, it often comes from either a lack consciousness, so feeling that I've lived in a state of poverty or lack my entire life, and therefore letting go of anything that might have value is painful or difficult. So we want to clear all of that away, any lack consciousness that prevents you from letting go of what doesn't serve you. Okay. And then we also want to clear away any and all belief systems that tell you that, sure, what you're letting go of doesn't serve you now, but it might serve you at some point in the future. Therefore, you should hold on to it. And I want to replace that with a belief system that if you let go of this thing now, you're actually creating space for something better, something that serves you better to emerge instead. So, sure, maybe it will serve you or help you in the future, but you'll miss out on something that's even better. So, you may as well let it go. Beautiful. Also, want to clear away, this is related to lack consciousness again, that feeling that by letting go of this stuff, you're quote unquote leaving money on the table. I want to clear that away for everyone as well. That the stuff you're letting go of has a value and maybe it could be sold, but you don't have the energy to sell it. So it feels like a no-win situation when it really isn't. Let's clear that away. Okay. And then with you, there's this, you specifically, and I'm not sure if this is in others as well. There is a dialogue in your subconscious mind that essentially asks the question whenever you're letting go of something, who is it going to anger for me to let go of this? It's like this feeling that all of the things that you want to get rid of, somebody somewhere is going to be angry with you for letting go of it or judge you for letting go of it. Does that make sense?
I actually wasn't aware of that, so I'll have to
Okay,
think
well,
about
let's
that the
clear
next
that
few days.
away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because I can feel it pretty palpably. Like there's a feeling that I'm going to give away something or throw away something or give something to Goodwill, and somebody's going to get really angry with me and then punish me for getting rid of it. And maybe that's the feeling of that, whatever the specific object is that I was feeling earlier. Okay, beautiful. And take a very deep breath and hold it for a moment. And release when you're ready. Okay, how are you feeling?
Um, Good. That's interesting. I mean, maybe that last one is coming from another lifetime or something.
It feels, well, maybe it's possible. It feels really palpable now. There's this
Wow.
feeling that somebody will take you to court for getting rid of something that they say belonged to them. And I
Huh.
want to just clear that away.
Yeah, I mean, that would explain why it's more tiring to go through all of this stuff because
Yeah.
I just feel like it should be easier because I really
Mhm.
want it cleared.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
amazing too when something comes out, sometimes some of the icky, stagnant energy, I mean, just can feel that as it moves too, and that's not pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
beautiful. Thank you. Okay. Beautiful. I'm muting you. I don't see any other hands raised, but I do want to check the Q&A. Um, okay, so Franklin's asking, if you let something go, can it come back? Okay, I'm not quite sure what the context is. Or it's not permanent, let go, and it can come back if needed. So, yeah. So let me just clear two beliefs for everyone. The first of all, I guess with regard to Kathleen, when you let go of something, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's out of your life forever. It can come back to you, maybe in a different form or with a different energy. And this is something that a lot of people have with regard to romance. They feel like, oh my God, I can't let go of the memories of this person I dated before, because then it's dead forever. But maybe that energy can come back to you in a new form. um, and then sometimes, the negative things, the painful things, they come back if you invite them back. So hopefully that answers those questions. Can we heal spiritual confusion, especially in these times when there's so much information? And yeah, I want to modify that. Can we heal spiritual confusion, especially in these times when there is so much misinformation? Because gosh, the vast majority of the information out there is just dead wrong. Okay, so you probably are tired of hearing me say this, but the best solution to clear away that type of confusion is a deeper ability of discernment. And discernment is the ability to recognize the truth in something. And truth is sometimes provisional, meaning truth is based on your perspective. So you see the number 9 when I see the number 6. Okay. And sometimes truth is truth. So I want to make it so you can recognize the truth in the statements that people are making. Because without getting on my soapbox, like I've done so many times in the past, people who stand to profit from misinformation know exactly what emotional buttons and victim narratives to push in order to get you to believe the lies that they are trying to produce. So discernment will help you see past the emotional reaction, where when somebody tells you something and it matches your victim narrative and therefore you identify with it and you kind of cast yourself into that narrative, like you're casting yourself in a movie. Okay, want to make it so you can recognize when that's happening and simply just take a moment to ask, is this true? Can I verify this? What's the agenda of the person who wants me to believe this? And then use those as tools to determine whether something is true or not. Okay. And just remember, once again, sometimes truth is provisional and based on perspective. So somebody can be screaming at you, this is the number 9, and you're looking at it and it's the number 6. And if you are screaming back at them, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're stupid, you're simply not helping matters. Discernment involves expanding your perspective so you can see that it's both the number 9 and the number 6, depending on how you're looking at it. So we want to allow that to emerge within you as well, a broader, more expanded perspective on things. Okay. And then also to disconnect you from the fear energy and the triggers that people are using against you in order to fit whatever their political agenda is. Okay. And for me, I just, recommend say goodbye to social media, because My assumption is anything I see on Facebook, I assume 70% of it is a lie, and it generally is. Okay, beautiful. So take a deep breath, hold it for a moment, release when you're ready. Okay, so hopefully that helps clear up some spiritual confusion as well, because a lot of times the spiritual confusion is simply an outgrowth of all those conflicting voices telling you different things. This week, I'm working with a group in England. They're doing a conference on business strategies. And people get really, really confused at business strategy workshops because one person says, you must have this funnel. It's the perfect funnel. It will fix your business. And somebody else says, forget funnels. You need JV marketing. That will fix your business. And somebody else will say, JV marketing is nonsense. You're giving more money away than you're earning. You should focus on Facebook ads instead. That's the strategy for you. And people get like super confused, and they don't realize the fact of the truth of what's going on, that it doesn't matter which strategy you choose. If you're in alignment with success, you will succeed using whatever strategy you choose. So if you feel like people are telling you this spiritual path is the one and only path to enlightenment, everything else is wrong, and then somebody else is screaming at you that their path is the only true path, and therefore if you do anything else, you're bound to suffer, just say, push all of that aside. The spiritual path that you choose is the one that's right for you, and you'll grow on it to the degree that you believe that you will grow on that path, to the degree that you're in alignment with spiritual growth. So just hopefully that kind of rounds out that question a little bit. Let's see. So I've got Maria. Why is it I am not feeling anything today? So sometimes that happens. Sometimes people don't feel anything when they're getting really, really close to some sort of shift in themselves. So Maria, I don't have an answer for you about why you're not feeling anything, but maybe you're feeling something on a deeper level that you're just not aware of. I've got Medium with her hand raised, so I'm going to allow you to talk.
Hello, Patrick.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Okay, so regarding the self-healing, I've been working on releasing lower energies like fear, anger, frustration. And my question to you is, you know that there is still dark forces and people that live in certain ages, and we don't name countries or anything, but about black magic and
but
people.
I just want to stop you right there because that's not what I do. But so
Okay.
I haven't allowed you to finish your question, but just remember, everyone who's on the call right now, how to do this without getting worked up. Black magic will not work against you unless you have given it permission to work on you in some way. Entities cannot attach to you unless you have given them permission to attach to you in some way. So I get a lot of people who like contact me and say, I'm cursed, fix my curse. And what I do instead is say, well, maybe we need to clear whatever it is inside you that allowed that curse to attach to you in the first place. That's where the work is that I want to do. So sorry for cutting you off, but I want to let you finish
No,
your question.
I was about to say, what is your take and your guidance? Because in my view, is basically if I am connected through my tube of light to my higher self,
Mm-hmm.
and I apply my sovereignty, nobody can do anything wrong to me because I won't allow it.
Okay,
So I was
that's
about to ask you,
yeah.
what is your take?
Okay, so my take is I understand what you're saying there, but there's an element of spiritual bypassing involved in that statement. So the fact of the matter is that we are living in a three-dimensional world. We are living in a physical world. We have physical bodies. We have physical limitations. We have chosen this experience in physical bodies. So when somebody says, I am like deeply in alignment with my sovereignty, therefore I never need to do anything to protect myself because nobody would ever violate me, I think that's going a little bit too far. They're stepping out of the fact that we are living in a three-dimensional reality and instead imposing the way something might work in higher dimensionality on this three-dimensional experience. So, yes, it is true that in your higher self, you are your sovereign self. And nobody and nothing can violate you without your permission. And therefore you are your higher self. You are eternally joyful and happy and healthy. And if somebody directs negative energy at you, it just bounces off in your higher self. But you also have this current egoic persona. And the goal of this life is to navigate this three-dimensional world that we live in this current egoic persona. So there are people out there who will try to hurt you or might try to hurt you. The goal is to kind of organize your life in such a way that those people just aren't interested in you and you don't attract them into your life for whatever reason. So I did that make sense at all, or have I gone into a rabbit hole that's completely different than what you're saying?
Yeah, well, I started for asking, and I thought that you reacted
Hmm.
like in a negative way, and then you come back and say, no, hold on, there are people that are doing that, and you have to protect it. So let's see if we can get into the middle line and
Yeah,
saying, how are
absolutely.
we self-healing? So how are we in our three-dimensional world, in our very physical bodies? How are we protecting and healing ourselves?
Yes. So the way we do it is through our belief systems. The vast majority of the people living in the world today are consumed with fear. They're consumed with an energy of the world is crumbling, the world is collapsing, everything is going wrong. And as a reaction to that mass consciousness energy of fear, the world is in fact full of struggle and strife, and there's chaos, and things seem to be getting worse rather than better. So part of it involves not you pretending like none of that exists. It involves you developing a stronger ability to control your thoughts, control your fears, control your belief systems, and your expectations so that you can create for yourself a life that's more pleasant and more fulfilling for you. And the question, how do you do that? You do that through the belief sculpting and becoming aware of what makes you tick and clearing those traumas that cause you to expect bad things to happen, clearing the triggers that are in your mind that cause you to react emotionally rather than responding rationally to a situation, and so forth. So all of it ties together into a program. Um, it's not something that is like boom, you turn a doorway and suddenly everything's happy. um, and it's not a magic wand type of thing. So I don't know if that's answering your question, but am I getting closer?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
um,
In my practice, and I mentioned this to you, I'm cleaning these lower emotions. And believe it or not, my worst time was at the beginning of the year when I realized, oh my God, this is an illusion. It's like the
yeah.
Matrix. And now that things are going to go, in my perspective, a little bit more crazy and more in despair, I am more calm, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to find the beauty and the blessings in
Yeah.
my life.
And they're everywhere. So, just to like personal information about me, I, for the past month and probably for the next month, have been going through the deepest, darkest, most painful growth experience of my entire life. So the last month has been just sheer like um, chaos and pain like I've never felt before. And I know that it's part of the growth process for me. I'm struggling with a set of traumas that I experienced that I've been ignoring for 25 years. And I know when I come out on the other end, I'm going to be a much more powerful person. Um, but that doesn't mean that I'm expecting to be completely invincible and invulnerable after all that's cleared. I still need to navigate the three-dimensional world, and I will still have the full range of human emotions. Um, so yeah, all of those what we call lower human emotions, they serve a purpose. They're absolutely essential for human survival, and the problem is that we get stuck in them, and when we get stuck in them they begin to snowball. And how you get unstuck, that's a way that you train yourself over time. You have to create new habits for yourself. So Miriam, is this helpful at all? I'm not sure if I'm actually doing
Yes.
anything helpful by talking.
Yes, no, yes, it is true. It's I mean, my cleanest thing is that you have to do energy management every
Yeah.
day.
Oh,
You have to
awesome.
connect
Awesome.
every day.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect. I love that. Okay, I'm going to put you back on mute, and we're going to go to Jesse. So Jesse, I've clicked the.
Good morning.
There we go. Awesome. So Jesse, how are you doing? Good morning to you.
Good, thanks. Sorry, I was late getting on, so I missed it.
No worries at
Um,
all. Yeah, we started
thank
off with
you.
a bang, so you can go back and listen to the recording.
Thank you for your course that you just done. Leave your mark on the world.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I was thinking you're just talking about alignment to success. So I was wondering, is there anything else that we can clear? So the lady with the garage,
Aligning
with success,
with
but also
success.
yeah,
Yeah.
with time
Yeah,
management.
success consciousness is a massive topic. And a lot of it has to do with clearing away the failure consciousness that a lot of us have. And you've done a lot of that work already. So, alignment with success energy is, let me just kind of do a little reading here to see what's going on. Okay. So with you specifically, you have spent your entire life in like an arena that's hard to navigate. It's bureaucracy. It's like everything that you want to do to build yourself up professionally requires getting approval from a bunch of different committees and submitting proposals and having the government scrutinize things and being told you can't do this, you can do that, but you can't do it this way, and so forth. So it feels like the blockage that has been in most of the stuff in your life has to do with this expectation that there will always be bureaucratic hurdles that you have to get over in order to get to success. Is that feeling right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I want to clear away that expectation and bring in a deeper awareness that sometimes success can happen spontaneously. So there's this feeling with you that success only occurs after you've done long, arduous work to get there, and you've had to justify everything to all these different government bureaucracies and so forth. So that is true in some cases, that you do have to navigate all of that. But I want to clear away the belief that all success is the result of doing all that hard, arduous work. and instead bring in an awareness that you can be successful in very simple, quick, and easy ways as well. And to make those opportunities more visible to you, because you also seem to have this other belief system that if something is simple and easy, it's too good to be true, that it's a trap of some sort. Maybe it's a scam even. When it looks like there's an easy solution to something, you don't trust it because it feels like you're overlooking something crucial by taking the easier route. Sometimes that's true. I want to clear the expectation that it's always true, because you still want to have enough discernment to recognize when you are being scammed and when something is too good to be true. Okay. So there's that old saying, if something looks like it's too good to be true, it probably is. Okay. Want to soften that a little bit. It doesn't mean it always is. We want to make it so that you can begin to attract to you more and more of those situations where easy solutions are available to you and you can slide right into success without having to fight for it. Beautiful. Take a deep breath and hold it for a moment. And release when you're ready. Okay.
So, thank you. Time management, does that fit in there as well?
Okay. That's a gargantuan topic. Okay, so what I'd like to do for everyone on the call is just kind of bring in a deeper awareness of the passage of time in your life so you can manage it better, so that you don't put things off to the last minute. The problem with you, what I see with time management, is a feeling that everything is urgent, and therefore you don't know which one to focus on. So a lot of times you focus on one thing, but another thing distracts you from finishing it because it's also urgent. And therefore everything takes longer than it should. So that's the pattern I want to clear away, that feeling that everything is urgent and therefore the entire concept of triage is meaningless because you don't know which one to put first. So let's clear that away, because that just slows you down. Bring in a deeper ability to, if you have a number of things that you need to work on, a deeper ability to focus on the one that you're focusing on, get it done, and then move on to the next thing. Rather than you just with you, like you're focusing on one thing and you've got these voices shouting at you over your shoulders, you need to focus on me instead. And then your energy gets scattered. Does that make sense?
Yes, totally.
Yeah, let's clear that away and replace it with that ability to focus on the task at hand and temporarily shut out the voices of all the other tasks so you can get this one done and then move on to that one. Okay, beautiful. Take a deep breath and hold it. Oh, and release. How are you feeling?
Thank you. Yeah, because I've got all this study and I'm still not able to focus on it. So,
yeah. Okay, so let's see how that helps with you.
thank you.
Okay, and then I'm going to take 2 more callers and then we're going to shut it down. So I apologize if I don't get to you, but we're already at the 75-minute point. And I'm going to go to Maria in Florence. So I've unmuted you, and you might still be muted on your end. Hello, I can hear you now.
Hi.
Hi.
Yes. Hi. Wow, such a pleasure to hear you and talk to you after quite some time.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Oh, thank you so much. Not very well. I have this severe headache. And of course, as usual, every other person's, or not everybody, almost everything else seemed like I could use the same help.
Yeah. So are you wanting to work on the headache, or do you have something else?
Yes, the headache, and I think it's definitely related exactly to what you said. I have too many tasks all at once,
Yeah.
and
So
oh,
that's overwhelm. So we're,
everything started everywhere, and
yeah.
yeah.
So instead of
Oh,
healing your headache, which would be like healing the symptom rather than the cause, we're going to work a bit on overwhelm. So let me just kind of, for everyone, just want to clear away the excess energy of overwhelm and make it so that you can manage that feeling with more grace and ease. Because we all get overwhelmed and we all find ourselves in situations where there are 100 things that need attention all at once. And that can be overwhelming. But if you fall into the overwhelm, then you can't do any of those things because you're feeling the weight of all of them at once rather than the one individual thing. And I want to expand on this into other arenas of your life as well. And for everyone on the call, in particular, what happens when you encounter one negative energy and suddenly you can feel the weight of every other similar negative energy that you've ever felt all at once, and it overwhelms you. Now imagine a husband and wife having an argument, and one of the people does something that annoys the other. They can either deal with that annoyance in the present moment as an isolated event, but what often happens is that person feels not only that annoyance, but every single other thing that ever annoyed them in the past all at once. It overwhelms them and they overreact. So we need to clear away the way the feeling of overwhelm can cause you to overreact or to shut down completely. You can go in either two directions when you're in overwhelm. Either you get hyper worked up and you overreact, or you shut down completely. And neither of those will help you get things done. So we want to clear away the excess feeling of overwhelm and bring in a deep awareness of how to and what it feels like to process overwhelm with grace and ease. Okay, beautiful. Take a deep breath and hold it for a moment. And release when you're ready. Okay, beautiful. So let me put you back on mute. Thank you very much, Maria.
thank you, thank you. I'm yawning so much.
Yeah, thank you. And then we're going to go to one more caller, but before I do that, I have something in the Q&A from Gary. So if being harassed and somebody that you're in love with is supporting the harassment, I reverse my response. Will I bring the same relationship as they could be my? Okay, I'm not quite sure what you're saying because I'm not following the grammar, the English of this. But for everyone who's on the call, I want to bring in a deep awareness of the difference between away from energy and actually getting what you desire. If you break up with somebody who's harassing you in order to escape the harassment, then you're not actually fixing the energy that created that mess in the first place. And you're bound to attract into your life somebody who teaches you that same lesson until you finally learn it. So if you're in a romantic situation and somebody is abusing you, there's something that caused you to attract that abusive relationship in the first place. Either you feel like you deserve to be abused, or you're not worthy of somebody who truly loves you or treats you with respect, or you feel you need to be punished for something, but you don't know what it is. And therefore, you fall into an abusive relationship. It can also be because that's just the energetic pattern you're familiar with, because as a child you were abused, and because abuse feels normal and natural, it feels weird when somebody treats you with respect. So if you break up with somebody in a relationship like that in order to escape that harassment, but you don't do anything to heal what caused it in the first place, chances are you will attract a new partner or somebody else in your life who just picks up where the last one left off. So for you and everyone else on the call, let's kind of slide back in time to whatever the original trauma is that causes you to attract abusive people into your life on autopilot. And let's just send some healing energy into that. Now, this is, of course, very complex, requires a lot of subconscious digging usually. And a quick little shift like this isn't necessarily going to fix the problem for you, but it's an opening, it's a gateway for you to step into a new energy. Okay, beautiful. Take a deep breath and hold it. Excellent. Then release that. Okay, wonderful. And then we're going to go to Marlena. In just a second, I have a couple of announcements first, just so you know what's coming up. So today is September 27th. October 4th, a week from today, I start the Lightbridge Foundations course. And that used to be called Lightbridge Level 1. And then on October 11th, I will be doing another Lightbridge Happy Hour. October 18th is my birthday. And on October 18th, I'm going to post something in lieu of doing a live event. So I will not be live with you on October 18th, my birthday. I'm traveling to do a series of shamanic ceremonies. I'm really excited about it. October 25th, I'm not going to be available to meet with you either. So the next Lightbridge Happy Hour is on the 11th, and then it's going to be 3 weeks, November 1st, for the one after that. And I'll post something on my birthday that's special instead. Okay, and also remember that my pricing on private sessions, I will be changing that on October 4th. I'm going to bump it up. It's not going to go back to where it was before the COVID crisis hit, but I need to bump it up a layer because, well, I don't need to go into the reasons why. It just is. It's not going to be much of a price increase, but if you want to stock up, feel free to do that. October 4th is the last day to get it at the old pricing. October 5th, that Monday, is going to be a slightly higher pricing on one-on-one private sessions. Okay, and now let's go to Marlena, and you are unmuted.
Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I can unmute. Yeah, so first of all, thank you for all the work you are doing. I get 2 words, and that's why I came on last. Balance, number 1, and center. Okay, center, not only the center of all of us, our being, like your gut feeling, intuition area, also the center of our houses. Very important to look at the center of your house, right? Because the energy from this year, it all went to the center of everybody's home, right? So if the center of our houses is not in balance, it's filthy, cluttered, we've been using that word clutter, then that has to be cleaned, cleansed, and balanced. So when you were going through,
I love this. I love this. And you know, it's true even without a COVID crisis and, and the world on fire.
This year,
this year even more so.
This year is more so. And next year we're going to have a little bit, but I'm working on month by month because most people will go by the whole year. But me, I dove deep into it and I've been helping people. But when you're going through what you're going through yourself, Patrick, okay, you're doing what you're doing, you are basically going, that stuff is on the side burner. I'm going to keep going, focus on my work that I'm here to do. So that's good. And it's almost like the little arrows trying to get your, attention. I'm over here still bugging you, and this pain and whatever. But if you are, focused on why you're here, what your purpose is, you're going to come out the other side shining, right?
Yeah. Good advice for everyone. Awesome.
Right? that's why I said I'm going to wait till the end. I'll send you an MP3 for you
Okay.
because you're so awesome. And, you know, people do not understand when you're a healer, you are pouring out so much energy, right? And they are like sitting there receiving it, but they should also engage, like you were speaking earlier, in your programs in order to get their life in more balance, in positive harmony, centered. They come on, you know, we all come on with an issue or two, right? And I always say, here's a tissue for your issue. Sometimes I need a whole box, okay? But today, I just have to tell everybody, get in your center, right? Your center of you, and get balanced. And if
Yeah.
you're not in balance, then Patrick, you're there to support us where we're out of balance, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to come in and support you and bring you what I have to gift you with. Because
Awesome.
you have been a gift in my life. And, you know, I just have to say thank you.
Awesome. Thank you
So-
so much. What a wonderful note to end on. So thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Oh, okay. Beautiful. So everybody, let's kind of gather our energies back together again. Let's get reconnected here. I want to send out 3 waves of energy to everyone, and you can absorb them or reject them. It's up to you to do whatever you want to do with this energy. So the first wave of energy I want to extend to everyone is unconditional love. And the key to understanding unconditional love is to not gloss over the word unconditional. Doesn't come with strings attached. Doesn't mean that you have to earn this love. It just means that it is, and you can swim in it if you want. So simply accept and receive that energy of unconditional love. Okay, the second wave of energy I want to send is healing energy. And this healing energy can come to you in physical form, emotional form, mental form, or in any other type of form that you desire. So simply allow yourself to receive a wave of healing energy and step out of the way and surrender to it so it can go wherever it needs to go for your best and highest good. And we're doing that in the spirit of unconditional love. This is unconditional healing, not to be directed by you at a specific problem, but simply allowing it the freedom to go wherever it needs to go in your life. Beautiful. And now let's have a wave, our third and final wave of joy energy. Simply allow yourself to be flooded with the energy of joy in each and every nook and cranny of your body, in all of the vast mountains of empty space that are in your physical body, in your mental and emotional body, in your brain, in your spinal column. Allow this joy energy to soak deeply. And we're doing this once again in the spirit of it being unconditional. You don't have to earn this joy energy. You don't need to evaluate whether you deserve it or not. You can simply allow it to be and allow it to go where it needs to go. Okay, beautiful. Everyone take a very, very deep breath and hold it for a moment. And release when you're ready. Wow, awesome. Ground yourself if you need to, especially if you're going to go out and do something. I'm going to play some closing music in a second, but first, thank you very much. This is Patrick Prohaska from Lightbridge.